England has a violent history when it comes to their throne. The word family has no importance, especially when a kingdom is in question. Brothers would kill brothers, and uncles would kill nephews. However, there was one instance where this was not the case, and that is the story we will be discussing today.
Charles II of England was very liberal in comparison to previous kings because he had favored religious tolerance, but his parliament favored Anglicans over all other religions. The period of his reign was known as the Restoration Era because his father was kicked out and he assumed control of the throne. Next, we have the Popish Plot. The Popish Plot was a conspiracy created by Titus Oates that claimed that the Queen and the Catholics were plotting to kill Charles II in a well-planned assassination. But this never actually took place, and everyone who was involved in the conspiracy was at potential to go to execution, which led to the execution of at least 22 men. Next, we have the Test Act, which was a series of English laws that served as religious tests for holding public office and imposed various civil disabilities on Roman Catholics and nonconformists if they did not renounce their faith. This proved to be very difficult for the Roman Catholics and nonconformists as it was very difficult for them to hold office. This actually caused more problems than it was designed to stop. James II of England replaced Charles II as king upon his death because he had no heirs. He was very Catholic while his parliament was mostly Anglican. This resulted in many fights, and eventually Parliament had enough and they called in James's oldest Protestant daughter and her husband to kick him out and rule them. Now we have probably two of the most important people of the Glorious Revolution, being Mary Stuart and William of Orange. They had brought an army from the Netherlands and forced James to leave his authority to his daughter and William of Orange. No blood was shed, so it was known as the Glorious Revolution because it involved no violence and it was simply an overthrow of James II by Mary Stuart and William of Orange by force. Here we have the English Bill of Rights, which was signed in 1689 by William and Mary, and it laid down limits on the powers of the Crown, rights of the Parliament, and rules for freedom of speech, and gave more people more civil rights. And then we have the Toleration Act, which was signed in the same year by William and Mary, and it allowed the freedom of worship to many religions, including nonconformists and Baptists, but still did not give people of Roman Catholic faith the right to practice because England was still too anti-Catholic. Last but not least, we have the Act of Settlement, which was signed by William in 1701 and stated that no Catholics would get the throne and that Sophia of Hanover would receive the throne. But she died before she could, so therefore her son, George of Hanover, became George I of England. And here's a neat fun fact, he did not even speak English.
And that is the story of the Glorious Revolution.